to stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Good morning. Hi, y'all. Welcome to the show. You can get involved by calling 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Jesse. Jesse. And my biblical question for this week is so doozy. Does Satan know God? Does Satan know God? Does he? Have you ever wondered about that? Does Satan know God? What the? We have every way that you can watch and support the show listed on JesseLeePeterson.com/show. JesseLeePeterson.com/show. And you can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad if you're busy running around and you just don't have time to sit and watch the show. You can podcast, but you could be listening on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live. Oh, Lord, at 605-615-4131. That's 605-615-4131. Amazing, huh? And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to Buy Me a Coffee. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk. BuyMeACoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. Amazing, huh? It's raining in L.A. A rainy night in Georgia. A rainy night in L.A. I feel like it's raining all over the world. It's a rainy night in Georgia. It's nice, though. The people who homes were burned down, they live up in the hills, like, they're concerned because now the mudslides may start happening. Because it's supposed to rain last night, today, and tomorrow. But amazing, huh? It's Thursday. So for the new listeners, it's Thursday. Though we take all calls, I take all calls. We set aside Thursday for the Bible Thumper people because we love the Bible Thumpers. And we want to have a little bit more time to discuss with the Bible Thumper people because if you notice, with Bible Thumpers, they have lost all sense of communication. And so what happens is when they try to communicate with you or you try to communicate with them, they just quote a scripture and maybe ask you a question about the scripture. Or if you're responding to their mention of that scripture, they don't really listen. In their head, they're just filling their head with another scripture. And so it's difficult to have a conversation with the Bible Thumpers. I said, "Look, well, we love the Bible Thumpers. Let's have Bible Thumper Thursday so we can try and communicate a little bit with the Bible Thumpers. We take all calls. And today is Thursday, which means it is Bible Thumper Thursday.
I know I'm supposed to go to my seat now, but my mama's a 10-year cancer survivor, and she's standing right there. Wave your hand, mama.
Somebody beside you don't understand your praise, but I want you to grab somebody around you that don't mind dancing, and I want you to hit the floor right now. Come on in here.
Jesus saw Zacchaeus and he levels the playing field. Jesus institutes an affirmative action program.
Don't y'all let mama dance by herself.
Don't let mama dance.
I want to talk about Jesus.
Hallelujah.
That's too loud.
Okay.
Shut your mouth. I heard that. Shut your mouth. Oh Lord. What joy, Lord. I heard something and I was asking Nick, the anchor baby, about it this morning, yesterday. And I've heard this over the years, off and on, but I've never really paused to discuss it with the people or person who was mentioning that or telling me this. But yesterday I was talking to a guy out of another country, a foreign country, and he was telling me that something like he had a master. A master, for those who don't know, in the foreign countries, a master, it sounds like a person that's supposed to be teaching you spirituality or something like that. And they call that person master. Because I ask, why you call that man master? And he's like, because he's my master. He teaches me how to be conscious or something. But he was telling me that he has, it's something like, I mean, I'm not going to be able to quote it word verbatim, all right, because it was an hour conversation. And he was telling me that he and his wife had been with this master, quote unquote, teacher. And one of the ways that they experienced consciousness, they say, is by doing drugs or something from the woods, some type of something from the trees or somewhere. And they take this drug. Sometimes it's LSD and sometimes it's psychedelic and all kind of stuff. But they take this drug thing, whether it's from a leaf or something or a tree, and they get high. And when they are high, they experience consciousness. They believe that they're conscious of God. And they start to remember the past. This guy was telling me that he even, and other people in his group, I guess, have experienced the rebirth in the mother's womb. When you highlight that, it sounds like you either experience or remember going through the womb of your mama. Who want to remember that? What the? And but it was real interesting in that. So Nick, in that they think that they are experiencing consciousness because they're remembering, I guess when they highlight that, they're remembering some things of the past. And they think that remembering the past, they seem to think, I may have it wrong. The guy's a nice guy. He meant well. He wasn't trying to anything. But it was interesting. And so I asked us, the anchor baby, has he ever heard of people doing drugs and they believe they're experiencing consciousness or the mind of God or something like that? And to my surprise, the anchor baby was like, yeah, oh Lord. He remembered that. Anchor baby, can you tell the people what you said to me about that? Do you mind?
I've definitely heard a whole bunch of stuff related to this. The most popular one is this thing they call ayahuasca. They even talk about it on big podcasts where they're pretty popular. And they go and they find some guide and teacher to put together some brew made out of the roots of some trees that make you trip out and throw up. And they find they're supposed to, some do it to find God, others do it just to work through emotional pain. It's like a therapy.
Oh yeah, he mentioned that too.
It's like
emotional
therapeutic.
pain. Yeah.
But definitely, I've even had friends. I used to have a roommate really into this kind of stuff, and so I definitely know about this.
And so your roommate would take that stuff and think that he's experiencing God and dealing with the pain?
Yeah, big time. That's probably a good way of summarizing it.
And did it work?
Honestly, a lot of the people I knew into this, I thought were kind of silly. And a part of me may be judging, but they were pretty silly in their conclusions and thought. It seemed pretty shallow. It was never that deep as they thought. I remember receiving it thinking it was not as deep as they thought.
Where did the idea come from? It sounds like, and again, I don't know all the detail, but it sounds like it come from like people like the Buddhist people. I don't know if Buddha teaches this or not, but people into that kind of stuff. But where did they get the idea that drugs or peyote or whatever they're doing, where did they get the idea that you're going to know God or experience consciousness being high? Where did that
That's a really
idea
good question.
Where did that idea come from?
That's a really good question. I think, and I've seen it come from some people. I've seen individuals with a following spread information like this, and I've heard them even say stuff like, "Oh, the ego, that's not you," and they'll sound even pretty spiritual. I don't want to just talk about like famous people, but so one I'm thinking of was super into this, and he sounded pretty smart sometimes, but he ended up killing himself.
He killed himself?
He did. He committed suicide.
The master killed himself?
Yeah.
Was he high?
He was. They said that he couldn't stop getting high, and that was part of his pain.
Oh. It sounds like it's a. It sounds like it's a Middle Eastern kind of teaching thing, which I don't know a lot about. I've heard about this stuff over the years. Heard people mention Buddha and all kind of stuff. So this person, according to the report, allegedly killed himself.
Yeah, and so there are people disseminating this information. You asked where it's coming from. I'm trying to think of it, and I'm also thinking of there's another direction here, because there's people I know who never even have been into any information like this, but yet when they got high, something about the experience said they got something from it. I can even maybe remember something like that.
Well, getting high can make you feel good.
You know,
But
that's
then
probably a
when
good
you're
way of
done
putting it.
being high, you come back down.
But they get something from it, and I think you assign a lot of meaning to it in that state.
Oh. So they feel good when they're high, and when they come down, they say, "Oh, I just had a visit with the Lord."
So, yeah, I guess so. That's a good way of putting it.
And when this person that was teaching this allegedly killed himself, what did his father think about that?
I'm not entirely sure. I'd like to find out. I know that they were sad, some of the closest followers who had spoken about this, like he may have been romantically involved, maybe even married, but someone really close to him said something like that. But that's a good question.
I asked this person, did they have peace as a result of doing this and thinking that you're spiritual now, and that, and he was mentioning the ego. He was right in that the ego does exist and stuff. But I don't know how people think, anyone would think that they could get rid of the ego from being high.
I think I know.
What?
Knowledge. Knowledge
Oh.
is, I feel like it may be closely related to what you're talking about. And knowledge makes you feel like...
It makes you think you're going to get rid of the ego that way?
Yeah, I think you could think yourself into salvation, which is not true.
I know, not at all. Yeah, not at all. That's interesting, though, that someone can convince you to take either that drink thing you're talking about or some type of drugs, and they can tell you that take this and you're going to be spiritual, and that's going to do something for the ego.
You know what I got to say real quick, too?
What?
I've seen some pretty smart people promote this stuff online, and they're I consider them relatively smart, journalist-type people and others, and they went through an experience like this, and just knowing their personality a bit, I could see that they handled it in a sense. They got high and tripped out, thought whatever about it, but their life isn't changing too much. But I personally know people from either just experiment to psychedelics, ayahuasca even, I know one, and stuff like that, and then went kind of weird. Like they never really, like it really traumatized them. And so I'm saying to the people out there, you're hearing people try this stuff, you're not ready. I don't know if you're ready. Like you're just a totally normal person. Don't get excited about it because you're going to go into that spiritual plane and you're going to get like taken out by a ayahuasca demon.
But if you, and what is ayahuasca again?
It's that brew.
A plant?
Yeah, you go out to find some shaman. Some people go to like Peru and they go to like South America for this.
What is shaman?
They call themselves
Like,
spiritual guides. They call them shamans.
Oh, they find a shaman. Mm-hmm. And a shaman is supposed to be a spiritual guiding person.
Correct. And when I hear the word shaman, I think of like some guy in robes and he's like maybe even brown skinned somewhere in another country. I've met shamans in Canada. They're just like a white guy with tattoos.
The one thing for those who are into that, do what you want. Stay with it if you like. But ain't no way you're going to know God being high. Ain't that much shaman in the world. It's just not going to happen. I asked this guy, well, do you have perfect peace? He said he still does it. He's not doing it right now because he's starting a family, got married, and they're trying to make some babies, but he still does it. I'm like, do you have perfect peace? No. When you return to the Father, you're going to have your son, and don't make yourself try to have perfect peace. But one of the clues to finding God is that you're going to have perfect peace. Christ came that you may have peace. And if you don't have that peace, you haven't found what you're looking for. That is so interesting. I paid more attention to it during counseling with this person than I've ever really paid attention to it. It was interesting. It's amazing that you can make people think you can get high and that's going to be spiritual. Getting high ain't spiritual. Maybe evil spiritual, but it has nothing to do with good.
It's such an interesting line of thought. You're making me think of a conversation I had with someone recently. They asked me if I had received the salvation of Christ. And my response was kind of like a little smug, like, I don't know what you mean. Like, and then in our conversation, I'm like, you see how smug I talked? My bad. So that should tell you, and I'm like, that should tell you the answer, huh? About my salvation of Christ. And he's like, what do you mean? Anyone can receive it just because you're smug. And I'm like, it's like the people who say to you, just because you're angry doesn't mean I didn't receive the salvation. I'm like, wait a second.
I know.
I think that does mean that.
Next time somebody, you received the salvation of Christ, just say your mama.
Okay. I got permission now.
Your mama.
Big time.
Amazing. Interesting, though. It's mind-blowing. I thought about that yesterday, too, after the council session. It's amazing that it's amazing. And I understand why it happened because people are so miserable and they just want to get out of some people want to get out of their hell. And they really want to get out of their hell, and they will almost try anything to get out of it. They want something different. And so you have these people say, well, come and take your shaman, and you believe it, and then you have to make yourself believe that it's working, knowing that you don't have peace, you still have worry, you still have doubt. All those things are still there, but you make yourself believe the shaman is working. or the acid or whatever it is you're taking. What a mess! Interesting, though. It's very interesting to me because I never really paid. Over the years, I've heard about it, like I've heard about Buddha, and I've heard about Shaka Khan and all kind of stuff. But I never really paid attention to it. I didn't realize that people really, it was like a thing. Amazing, huh? So, before I go to the calls here, some of you know about Elon Musk. And that Elon Musk is shaking up America. He and Trump, the great white hope. They're shaking up America. And the children of the lie are having a hissy fit. And I noticed that and mostly Democrats, maybe one or two Republicans, and then leading the way are blacks, black preachers, black politicians, because they have gained so much money over the years and perceived power by making the blacks believe that their problem is racism and that the white people try to hold them back, so they need more programs, they need affirmative action, they need reparation, they need this. And these black preachers and politicians and other people like Al Sharpton and all that, Maxine Ward, they have gained a lot over the years, 70 years or so. They have gained a lot of money from these programs. The money, and I've always said that the money end up in the pockets of these people who push the idea that racism exists. And now that Elon Musk is really shaking it up. He's shaking up and rinsing it out and hanging on the clothesline so it can clean out. And the blacks and the liberal whites, the government, they are all having a fit. Almost to the point that it sounds like, I'm not accusing because I don't know for sure, almost like they're threatening violence. Don't touch our money. They have been living high off the hog with this lie about racism. And there's now DEI, right? And Elon Musk, they hate Elon. And it's funny how they used to love Elon in the same way they used to love Donald Trump. The devil loves his own. And so I want to know from you, does it sound like this black preacher, pastor, the pastor, does it sound like he is inciting violence? Does it sound like it to you? I don't want to read anything into it. This is from Newsweek. A pastor in Tennessee appeared to call for violence toward Elon Musk during his Sunday sermon following efforts by Doge to access information about, access information held by the United States Treasury. Watch this from X.
And in this nation, I'm worried that we are on the verge of bloodshed. This is an attempt to take us back to a day that we do not want to go and we will not go. Therefore, there will be conflict. I pray that the peace of God will win out and overcome the madness that is attempting to take over this nation. And I will say to you, beloved, no one likes violence, but sometimes violence is necessary. When Elon Musk forces his way into the United States Treasury and threatens to steal your personal information and your Social Security check, there is a possibility of violence. Sometimes the devil will act so ugly that you have no other choice but to get violent and fight. Well, someone might say, now, Reverend, you shouldn't be talking about violence. This isn't the Christian thing to do. Well, I will say, why not talk this way? Because Jesus did. Jesus said in this key verse, didn't it? The kingdom of heaven suffers what? Violence. And the who? The violent take it by force. The kingdom of God is a war zone. It is a battlefield. You did know this, right?
Does it sound to you that this guy is inciting violence? And all in the name of Jesus. They fighting over that check. Don't take my check. Remember when we used to wait at the door for the mailman to come so you could get your check? Black people love their check. One thing about the blacks, they love violence. That's why every other race are afraid of them. This guy is black, and it sounds like, to me, he's encouraging violence. I could be wrong, but don't touch that check. Where's my check? You fight the mailman if he didn't bring your check on the first. Black people love their free checks. This man is lying about Jesus' side of violence. Black people, you got to stop loving violence. It's hurting you more than you think it's hurting others. Inside of violence, it goes against God. God is not into violence. Jesus is not into violence. According to Matthew 9, blessed are the peacemakers. They shall be recognized as children of God. Blessed are the peacemakers. Where's the violence in that? Blessed are the peacemakers. They shall be recognized as children of God. Romans 12:18. As much as possible, and to the utmost of your ability, be at peace with everyone. He said, fight over your check. Be at peace with everyone, as much as possible. And Romans 12:21, do not be mastered by evil. That is so deep, I don't know what to do. You're going to need more than Sharma. Do not be mastered by evil, but master evil with good. Do not be mastered by evil, but master evil with good. That's deep. This guy is black and he stand up in a church. Sound as though he's encouraging violence against Elon Musk over chat. And you wonder why blacks are so violent, why the blacks are so violent. Not only have they gotten it from their mamas, they become like their mama and grandma. They're hearing it from the black preachers. And this has been going on for years. What will the black so-called representatives do if Elon Musk and Donald Trump manage to clean up the government where all this so-called program might have been going out and then ended up with them? Where would they be if they didn't have those programs? And this is the first time in my lifetime, maybe it happened before, and I'm not aware, that I've really seen anyone who promised to do something about cleaning up government, and they're fighting hard to keep their word about it. You voted for them, and they're finally keeping their word. And then I'm looking at the Democrats and the liberal media fighting against what's best for the country. It must be personal. 888-7753-773. 888-77-JESSE. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, they overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingaman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. Now do you see hell is on earth? It's right here. You're scared to go to hell. You're already in hell. That preacher says something like, sometimes violence is necessary when the devil acts so ugly. How you going to beat the devil with violence? How about beat the devil with good? How you going to beat the devil with violence? And the people, amen. Welcome back. It's raining, a rainy night in L.A. A rainy night in L.A. I feel like it's raining all over the world. Rainy, 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 rainy. A rainy night in Georgia. I just got a text from a friend, and he said, I can't believe, and he black, I can't believe how stupid blacks can be. It still amazes me. It's that anger, buddy. Anger, remember the biblical question? Anyone that has anger is stupid. And anger makes you do stupid things. It makes you think stupidly, and it makes you do stupid things. Anger is not of God. The people with look at the people with the degrees in government right now. They're fighting against making America better, creating a smaller government, making the money work for us and not against us. And they have degrees, PhDs, FADs, LSDs, STDs, master, doctor, lawyer, and they're stupid. They're stupid. Anyway, welcome back. Brand new episode of The Fallen State tomorrow. TheFallenState.tv. I talked with Lisa Bloom. And Lisa is the daughter of Gloria Allred. Some of you may know her. She was a little lawyer out of L.A. Who I guess she represents women. But Lisa Bloom is the author, attorney, and founder of the Bloom firm. Watch this.
Next time on The Fallen State.
We are one of the nation's largest and most successful civil rights law firms.
Do you fight for the rights for white people too?
We're talking about people of color.
And so are you married?
Oh, I've been married.
Did you obey your husband?
Why would I? Why doesn't he obey me?
Are you Christian?
No.
Are you Jewish?
Kind of, yeah.
Why would you trust women when they're crying, they're lying?
You sound very misogynist. Are you a narcissist, Jesse?
Right now,
People have the right. I'm still talking.
Okay,
I almost feel like you're punking me, Jesse.
Very interesting discussion tomorrow at 11 a.m. Friday, Pacific time. And make sure you support the Fallen State. You can donate right there, thefallenstate.tv. locals.com/donate or locals.com. Locals. And check out Punchie TV. While you're drinking Punchie's coffee, you can be watching Punchie TV. Punchie TV. Watch this.
Was Jesus a street preacher?
It's almost like he let life tell him what to do next, as opposed to, I got to tell him that gay is wrong.
Interesting.
Super satanic, He would address people with scripture. He would never give his own opinion on things. If you notice that reading the Bible.
Jesus spoke a little bit more naturally than just quoting the Bible at them.
Yeah. Street preachers today are like activists calling people out. It's just wolves in sheep clothing to me. It still feels the
I'm
same to me,
sensing
though.
that you're kind of in your feelings with it, in all honesty.
He's just reading between the lines. That's what he was giving off.
Reading between the lines?
He was prideful.
What lines?
So you think that we should Bible thump? That's what we ought to do.
Yeah.
Part 2 is coming up this Monday. That was part 1. PunchieTV.com. I mean, Punchie.tv. It's on YouTube and Punchie.tv. Let me go to Frederick out of Canada, first-time caller. Frederick is gone. Let me go to Clint out of North Carolina. Clint, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, Mr. Peterson, how you doing?
All is well, Clint.
That's good. Well, I've been thinking, growing up here in the South, I've always believed and tried to think that, most me and my family and people I know that grew up here in the South, we try to be closer to God than I would think most Americans would. But we're real big on Southern heritage. And I was wondering if you thought like the Confederate flag was like evil, like something from like a product of evilness, or because it's supposed to be like a Christian cross. And I just wondered what your opinion was on the Confederate flag.
The Confederate flag is it represents pride in the South. It's not what the enemy of America have made it to be. It's pride, Southern pride. So that's how I see it.
Mm. So do you think like from your experience, because you're from Alabama, right?
Sweet home Alabama. Yes, sir.
So from your experience, would you say like Southern people are not as bad as people make them out to be?
They're nothing like the people make them out to be. And they're doing that because they're trying to divide and conquer. And so they're trying to make, especially white Southern people, they're presenting them in an evil way so that they can cause more conflict between the blacks and the whites. That's what it's all about. It's about money and so-called power.
So what do you think about the South also fighting for slavery back in the past?
What do I think about them fighting for slavery?
Yeah, because that's one of the things they were apparently fighting for. And that's usually like one of the first things that people say is that all Southern people is racist because they fought for slavery.
They fought to keep it or to let it go? You know what?
Well,
let me just say this, Clint. What I recommend is that you forget about all these lies that these people made up about slavery, about America, and all that. I wouldn't hold on to the lies. I would just, if you get in a discussion with someone about it, I'll put my point out there and I'll be done with it. But I wouldn't sit around and think about it at all because slavery doesn't exist now. Slavery, all the slaves are dead. The blacks that were brought here, they were brought here by the Allah Uaba people, the Arabs, and they were sold to the Arabs by other black people in Africa. The white man had nothing to do with it. I wouldn't try to, if you appreciate the Confederate flag, Enjoy your flag. Let the people think what they want. I wouldn't put 2 cents in what they think at all. I wouldn't try to prove anything to them or not, because you can't prove anything to angry people. Angry people want to be miserable, so they're not going to ever believe the truth until they want to overcome evil. I wouldn't waste my time with it, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think about a lot of things because, I mean, I'm a country boy and I keep to myself and always thinking and, you know, just things going on in my head, you know, nothing always, like, bad or nothing. But, I mean, I've always, like, felt like the South was more diverse, kind of. I mean, a lot of our Southern culture is stuff from Africa, like the banjo, you know what I mean? Like, growing up, I always loved the banjo, you know, the way it sounded and all. And for the longest time, I never knew it actually came from Africa.
I was talking to my producer this morning. He's black, and he's from Memphis. And we were laughing about some things that happened in the South. And the way the Southern people were totally different than the Northern people. And the Southern people had more love for one another, all races there, than any of the races up in the North. And so it's a waste of time. It's not about racism anyway. It's not about the Confederate flag. It's about money and control. And that's why I say one of the worst things that ever happened to the blacks and to the country was the so-called civil rights movement. Other than abortion, it had kept blacks, it has used black people for power and wealth. It's never been about love. Clint, thank you, man. I got to run, but thank you.
Yes, sir. God bless you.
You too, buddy. Don't be giving that mess any attention. Tom is out of Missouri.
Hello?
Tom, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, how's it going, Jesse?
All is well, Tom.
Yeah, so I called to give the biblical question answer.
Does Satan know God?
My answer is Satan does not know God. And I... Go on.
And why do you say he does not know God?
Because basically, before I forgave, I was Satan, or I identified with Satan. So, and I didn't know God. So I know that Satan doesn't know God.
Very interesting, man. I appreciate that. I want to respond, but of course, I got to wait until Sunday if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. But I appreciate your input. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Also, I want to give a comment because I was listening. You were talking to Nick this morning about the people promoting, getting high for some spirituality or something like that.
Right, and it's interesting to me that someone can convince someone else that getting high off whatever it is they get high off, you're having a spiritual connection to God. And the people believe it. And it's mind-blowing to me that anybody would believe that getting high off anything is a spiritual connection to God. It's a spiritual connection, but it's to evil and not to God.
I totally agree with you. And something I noticed about it is that all the people that say, you could trip out or do this or one thing or another and get connected to God, they all get high. They all do drugs in some way or another. They're all smoking pot or on psychiatric medication. There's some form of drugs that they're doing. And so what I see is, them just trying to justify their own behavior.
It's mind-blowing to me that anyone would believe that, but I understand how the mind works, so I do understand it. What a mess!
Yep.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate it. And again, thanks for your response to the biblical question.
No problem. Take care, Jesse.
All right, buddy. Amazing. James, you heard of that before?
Getting high
And,
for God?
And that you have a spirit, you have a spiritual connection when you get high. Off of, what's that stuff called? Shamama?
Ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Or psychedelics, I guess.
Or psychedelics.
I have heard of that.
You heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
So you've heard people say, "Oh, I had a psychedelic experience, and I got to I was spiritual."
Yes, and you've talked with different men, youngish men, who are into like being men and stuff like that, who have done stuff like this,
and they think it worked.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
And do they wonder, okay, if it worked, why am I still miserable?
I don't know.
Maybe
they don't admit that they were miserable.
Did you go skating with Joel last night or something?
Why are my eyes red like Joel's?
Yes.
Maybe it's just my face.
Your face is red.
I was doing ayahuasca trying to get close to God yesterday.
Evidently.
No. No, I've never done that.
Yeah. Because I hear people say, "Oh, Jay was doing ayahuasca."
I went to talk to Shaka Khan.
Super chat.
Yeah, nice.
Super.
Super chats.
Over on many from yesterday, Sion had written that one. Thank you, Sion. Amir G from New York bought a couple of coffees and is also a member, a monthly supporter on the buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. If you've been helped, you should naturally give back. Thank you, Jesse, for helping me find the kingdom of heaven.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you giving back without me having to ask or remind you. So thank you.
Thank you, Amir.
Yeah.
Brian712 says, thank you, Bond, for everything you guys do for the men who are lost.
Thank you.
Did you ever think about having so-and-so on your show or The Fallen State?
I'll give it to my producer and look into it. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you,
Brian.
Kibaweba. Pardon me if I'm butchering your name. Kibaweba bought a coffee saying, liking the JLP show.
Thank you. Thanks for supporting as well. Amazing.
Thank you, Kibaweba.
Yep.
GA asks on X.
Ask.
Which is worse, the nasty bishop or the gangster rap?
It's the same. It's all evil. Evil is evil is evil. Anybody that's encouraging you to, whether he's intentionally doing this or not, to be violent, that's evil. Over check. And then he pretend God or Christ encouraged that. That's a lie. What the? It's all evil. It's the same. Thank you.
Ron K. bought a coffee. My dog told me to buy you a coffee.
Tell your dog I said, who let the dogs out? Bow, wow, wow, wow. Oh, thank you.
Thank you to George for the Cash App.
Yeah, thank you, George.
Bond JLP on Cash App. Shout out to yesterday's top contributors on the D-Live crew, Coffee Talk with Sandra, Games for Rec, Taking Care of Business, Shaw Money, and the rest of the supporters, as always. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We'll come back to the others.
Okay.
888-7753-773. Then we go to Canada and talk to Frederick, first-time caller. Frederick, welcome to the show.
Hi, Jesse.
Hey,
Thank you
Fred.
for I'm very honored for you to take my call. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So my question has more to do with relationships.
Yes, sir.
I think you're an expert in relationships. Basically, I'm 41 years old. I am engaged to this 41-year-old woman, and she was married before. She has no kids. She wants kids. And I was in a relationship before, and I have 2 kids out of wedlock. And you know, I was really, really beta. I mean, I was as beta as it gets because, you know, the mother of my children, I'm grateful that she gave me those children, but she's 9 years older than me.
Okay? Wow. You made baby with your mama.
Oh my God!
What a beta!
So, and Jesse, you have to understand, she put me through hell.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Court date. She wanted to take the kids back to her country. And I mean, it was a deep, and that was like 6 years ago. So that was like a deep, period in my life, like a dark period, but it was also very rewarding. But anyway, I got 50-50 custody with her. The judge rejected her request to get full custody and all that, but it's still a struggle, So now I'm meeting this woman, and I quote unquote love her. I'm in lust with her. I don't know. I've been following your content recently, so I think it's lust, but who knows? But yeah, we've been together for almost 2 years. We don't live together. We've had sex, but we've agreed not to have sex anymore. And I've been following your content recently, and I did the homework, what you talked about, forgiveness. I have forgiven my mother. It really, really helped me. It really, really, really helped me.
Yeah.
And I've also, my father, I never knew my father. He's deceased since 2004. He did. And, and since 2004, so I forgave him on paper, as if I was talking to him on paper, and then I read it out loud just to, and yeah, so now I'm engaged to this woman, and she really wants babies. I have a vasectomy, and I don't mind reversing my vasectomy. I was going to do it anyway, whether or not she was going to be in my life or not. But now, ever since I've been listening to you, honestly, we've had problems. She's very Catholic. Okay, she really wants me to go to church, us to go to church every Sunday. Okay, that's fine. But now when I tell her, okay, so I mean, who's going to be the head of our family? Now there's a problem because she wants to get, she wants equal. The decisions making is going to be equal and stuff like that, and we just find ourselves arguing just about everything. For example, and for silly things, it's not like big things, it's for silly things. For example, I watched one of your clips one time, and it was about, exchanging gifts at Christmas.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't want to exchange gifts at Christmas. It's ridiculous. We don't need it. Okay. Right. We already have obligations to my children and then to her family and why should we exchange gifts? So, but she's fighting that. I mean, she's just literally fighting everything. And I also find a lot of immature behavior from her. For example, when she's upset, she just hangs up on me, and silly little things like that. And we've just been arguing over and over again. And I really wonder, Jesse, if I really love this woman. And I realize I don't know. I'm starting to realize I don't have love to give her. Do I think she would make a good mother? Yes.
Why do you think that?
I'm sorry?
Why do you think that?
Why do I say that?
Yeah. Hold on, buddy. Hold on, Frederick. Let me take a break. 2 miles ago, hate news, not the fake news. Back in a moment.
Absolutely changed my life for the positive, and I just want to thank you. I was 29-year-old beta, living at home with my mom, and just was living in fear and in doubt, and I couldn't hold down a job. And then I found you, and I started listening. I started just being more at peace, and I forgave my mom, and I forgave my father. And it's like right after that, everything just changed in my life, and I was able to get a good job, and I moved out, and I live on my own now, and everything has just changed. And I just want to say thank you, and I appreciate you for spreading that message. It really is a positive message.
Amazing. That's good, man. I want people to know God loves us in ways that there are no words to express, because you have nothing to compare it to, right? Stay with the silent prayer. You haven't seen anything yet. It gets better.
Some serious mess going on in the world. Severe winter weather, says CNN, disrupting travel and commutes. We wish you well, guys. Be careful. The federal firings begin. That's not mess. That's good. Department of Education and the SBA, Small Business Association, are the first on the chopping block. I'm calling it good. And the Trump-Putin call. Trump and Putin had a long and productive phone call. Exciting. That's what they say. And inflation is up, and CNN is eager to bash Trump over it, seemingly. This is the end of hour one of Bible Thumper Thursday, February 13th, 2025 AD. The lines are full. JLP will be right back to your calls. Okay? Hang tight, callers. You can call in every so often. And as you hear JLP wrapping up with a call, okay? But first, Hake News on Fake News. I mean, you can call even during Hake News, by the way, in case a line opens up. CNN says severe winter weather disrupting travel and commutes across the United States, with data showing thousands of recent flight cancellations and delays. Predictable. Millions of people on the West Coast currently under alerts for flooding, rainfall. Snow and ice continue to pound several central and eastern states. Scores of firings have begun at federal agencies, with terminations of probationary employees underway at the Department of So-Called Education, total misnomer, honestly, and the Small Business Administration, per sources to Common Nonsense. The moves mark the first from the Trump administration as Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency aims to shrink drastically the federal so-called workforce and pull back on government spending. Very good ideas. Until now, federal employees across all U.S. agencies had only been placed on paid administrative leave, okay? The full scope of the firings remains unclear because the scope is singular, though it has impacted at least dozens of so-called workers. And that Trump-Putin phone call. President Trump, our greatest, said negotiations to end the Ukraine war will start immediately after he held a lengthy and highly productive, and that's a quote, phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin, part of the Dream Team, JLP's Dream Team, on Wednesday. The two leaders discussed the future of that conflict and agreed to work together very closely, including visiting each other's nations, Trump said. His predecessor, crooked Joe Biden, the so-called president, previously, he hadn't spoken to his Russian counterpart in nearly 3 years. Joe Biden, believing there was little to be gained in speaking to a leader whom he deemed a war criminal. Crooked Joe, a Borscht-supporting Joe Biden, talking about crimes against humanity. Give me a break. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also reaffirmed that the U.S. will no longer prioritize European and Ukrainian security as the Trump administration focuses on securing U.S. borders. That's right, America first. And deterring war with China. Very cool. Despite promises from President Trump, our greatest president, to bring prices down, CNN says, most of the common stuff, many common goods, not most, in the United States got more expensive last month. Did you know that? And they're eager to pretend like this is Trump's fault or something like that. According to the latest Consumer Price Index, Trump has been president, 3-4 weeks? Consumer Price Index released Wednesday by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, so-called labor. The increase was driven by many factors, including rising costs of energy and food, particularly true of eggs, which have seen prices soar, and widespread shortages due to the avian, also known as bird flu. Egg prices up 53% year over year, shot up more than 15% from December to January. Oh, that's Biden. What in the world? That's common nonsense for you. Make sure you do catch all of the shows if you so please. You can go to jesseleepeterson.com/show and see the Fallen State, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson Show, and all of the other network hosts. Very nice. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP, Hour 2.
got to stand up strong. Think the truth about themselves to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I am Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the second hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-77-53773. That's 888-77-JESSE. And my biblical question for this week: does Satan know God? Does Satan know God? Amazing question. You can listen to the show on your iPhone or iPad. We are heard around the world by everybody and their mama if you're black. Everybody and their mama if you're white. And then for the flat earther, everything for the flat, we are heard up and down the world. So you can be listening, you can podcast, but you can be listening by call the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. And to donate and have your comments read out loud, go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk. Buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. Yesterday I taped 2 hours of The Fallen State. It was interesting. I talked so much, I had to use these things to whatever, keep my voice going. It's in the Word. It's Thursday, and every Thursday is and will always be Bible Thumper Thursday. Oh, Lord! He's drunk as a bastard.
All right, brother. Are you ready? He's drunk as a badger.
A bad boy?
Go ahead. Let that Holy Ghost language come up out of you. Go ahead.
Oh, shana na na. Everybody asks, what's the matter with me? I'm saved, sanctified, and running for my life. If anybody asks, what's the matter with me? Not only am I drunk as a bastard, I'm saved and sanctified and running for my life. Amazing. I want to go quickly back to Frederick out of Canada, a first-time caller. And Frederick is dating this woman who's been married before, and Frederick has never been married. And Frederick has some children by a woman he dated for a while who is way older than him. And she gave him the blues about his children. And now he's dating this woman, and he's wondering if he should marry her. They are now fighting, and he's still wondering if he should marry her. So I want to understand. Frederick.
Yes.
And so you and this woman been married before. You're now fighting. You have children about. You dated some woman that was how old? How many years older than you?
9 years.
Oh, wow. And how old are your children with her?
8 and 7.
And why did this woman break up with her husband?
Well, she says that he left.
Do you blame him?
And I'm sorry?
Do you understand now why he left?
Damn. Yeah, well, You know, well.
But anyway,
yeah,
she said he left and what?
Well, he left because she says she doesn't understand why he left.
Oh, yeah.
That's what she says. And he left for another woman. And
do you blame him?
I'm sorry?
Do you blame him now that you're seeing what she's like?
You know, I don't think she's that bad, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, like, yeah, we argue. I think she can be very argumentative, but she can be very, very like she can admit when she's wrong. And she, you know, so she has some kind of, like, she's not that bad, honestly.
She ain't that bad.
Well, here's the thing too, because there's been things like when we first started dating. I mean, when the question arose for having children, she said she wanted to adopt or she wanted to have the biological kids. She preferred biological. I told her I had a vasectomy and everything. And I remember last year, one time, I mean, we were talking about that, and I said to her, and it was during a tense moment, and I said, you know, you're just with me because you want kids. And Jesse, she lost it. I've never been afraid of a woman before, not even my ex. I was afraid of her, and she almost hit me. I mean, she hit the walls. She went hysterical, this and that. And I left her place. I was at her place. And, you know, and so long story short, she came to my place. I didn't want her to come in, so we went to the subway to talk because I wasn't going to let her in. And anyway, we talked it out, and I said, this can never happen again, blah, blah, blah. She saw a psychologist for like a couple of months, and, you know, nothing like that ever happened, like in a year, right? But it's still, you know, it's still there. Like, it's still, I have to take note of that.
And yet,
you know what
she
I mean?
ain't that bad. You're afraid of her. She's scared to scare you. And she ain't that bad.
You think so?
No, you said.
Well, yeah. Well, she isn't that bad. Yeah. She is.
How
like,
bad does
been
it
that
have
bad.
to get for it to be bad to you?
Yeah.
No, that was a question.
Oh. Well, you know, how bad does it have to get? Look, I don't know. It's just, you know, because I told her, I said, and we saw a priest here too. We talked, you know, to a priest, but you know, she's like, I told her, you know, what I would be concerned with is that sometimes these women, they hit the man, then they call the police saying that he hit her. You know what I mean? This kind of domestic violence stuff, and it's like, I don't want to have. Look, I lived in hell before. I do not want to live in hell again.
But you're walking right into hell, and you act as though you don't see it.
Yeah. I really like her, Jesse. I really do. I like that. Yeah. I speak like a woman. Jesus.
Wait.
But Jesse, I'm sorry. But I like her, Jesse. I think she's a good. I know you said there's no such thing as a good woman. Okay.
But you think she's a good woman?
She has some good in her, yes.
And what good does she have in her?
She is loyal.
Loyal to what?
I know, like, she doesn't mess around with other men. She doesn't like. She's not one of those, you know, she posts you know, Instagram posts in bikinis and stuff, and you know, she is for, you know, no sex before marriage. We didn't do it because I was a quote unquote slut maker.
How old are you, Frederick?
41.
And how old are your children?
8 and 7.
And how old is this woman?
41.
Frederick, what is wrong with you that have you proposed to her already?
Yes, I'm engaged to her. But given the arguments that we've had, we decided, I said, no, we're not ready to get married yet. So we were supposed to get married on April 26th, and we just scratched it because I said we're not ready.
But Frederick, what is wrong with you that you see the hell before you even get into it, and yet you allow the hell to convince you it ain't that bad? What do you think going to happen when you marry this woman? You're going to end up in jail before you even know it.
Yeah, that's what. That's yeah.
But what is wrong with you? Why can't you see that? And I'm asking a question I already know the answer to. But why can't you see this woman has already been married before? You've never been married. Why would you want to marry a woman that's already been married, who is not with the man? And you see how difficult, according to you, she is already. You see the trouble to come, which tell you that's why the other man left her. Why would you walk into the same hell?
Well, why would I walk in the same hell? Because I don't see it, I guess.
You do see it.
Yeah.
You just lean it out. Why are you saying you don't see it?
Well, because I also see the good side. Like
what? What's good about her?
She's responsible.
How's that good?
Well, because she's reliable.
Reliable on what?
Well, she when I don't know when we're supposed to meet, she's there. She's just consistent.
What's good about that? Satan is consistent too. Look what he's doing to you already. He consistently deceives you.
Yeah, but I have to say, her ex wants to get back with her. She has 3 exes. Okay, she was married, then she had 2 other boyfriends after, and all 3, they want to get back with her.
And so, because they love the hell just like you love it, they love the thrill. They love the thrill of the hell. And what does that have to do with you?
I don't know, Jeff. I just want to fix it. Like, I just want to.
You want to fix what?
Well, we had a good relationship since. We had like.
You've never had a good relationship. No such thing. It was always bad. It was just good feelings, thrills, and now you have bad feelings, thrills. It's all the same. It's all evil. Never been good.
Okay, but what would be good a relationship then?
Why not leave her and let those other men that want her back, let them have her? How do you know they want her back?
Because her ex texted her at 3 a.m. one time, like the start of our relationship.
How do you know about that?
Because she showed me.
Why would she show you something like that?
Because my ex was also texting me, not the mother of my children, the one after. It's like we told each other we were going to tell, whenever the ex, if the exes ever tried to contact us again, we would say it to each other.
And does that make you want her more because you think these guys want her?
Yeah, I guess a little, because it tells me, okay, at least maybe she was, they regret their decisions and they see now how good of a woman she was.
What's good about her?
Well, it's like I said, I think she's.
So first of all, does that make sense that this woman showed you that her ex want her back, and it made you want her more, knowing that you're getting into evil? Does that make sense that you would want her more because they want her back?
Well, I don't think she does it out of to make me jealous.
Does that make sense that you want her more, thinking that they want her back?
Wow, it kind of does a little bit. No, it tells, but it tells me that they may regret their decisions and they think back on the relationship and they realize, oh, she was, a good woman. I know there's no such thing as a
And
good woman, but
where are you getting those ideas from?
myself.
And who's yourself is telling who that? You?
Whose self is telling me that?
Yes. You said you're getting those ideas from yourself, right?
Yeah.
And then yourself is telling who is yourself talking to?
I guess the devil. I don't know. Like, I don't know who is myself talking to. I have no idea. It's just I'm trying to rationalize it.
You know what
maybe?
you're doing? You're doing what every human being does. You listen to the devil, and the devil is giving you one idea after another one. Oh, this is not so bad. Do this.
Yeah.
Look at how this. And you're consulting with evil, and evil is laughing at you every time you listen to it because it knows it's making a fool of you.
Right. Yeah. And also, like, she really pressures me to have children now, and it's like that because I just feel I'm her last hope for children. You know what I mean? She's 41.
But how can you be her last hope? She's been married before, and you said she had other boyfriends, and these guys want her back. How is that her last hope?
Well, because she's 41.
But, she can take one of those guys back and make babies. How is that her last hope? Where are you getting that idea from?
Yeah. Okay. I guess
that was a question.
Yeah. I guess the devil. I guess that's where I get the ideas from, and I'm trying to convince myself. You know, I would like to fix it, but I'm just trying to convince myself, I guess.
But how can you fix? You can't even fix your own life. Look how screwed up you are in your life. How are you going to fix someone else's life when you can't fix your own?
Yeah, I think I've fixed it a little bit. My life, I think I've been doing well since. Like, I've been lucky, though.
So do you sound right now, this idea of marrying a crazy woman that you know is crazy, nothing but trouble, pressing you for kids, and you think you have fixed that?
Jesus. Yeah. No.
What?
I'm trying to find a solution. You know, I'm trying to and if.
But how are you trying to find a solution? You're trying to find a solution to get deeper into it. You're not trying to find a solution to get away from hell.
Right. Right. I just don't want to make the wrong.
You feel sorry for her?
For not, like, I would like to give her kids. Yeah.
Why? You already have kids.
Yeah, I know.
All she's going to do is give you more hell and the same trouble you're getting with this other woman that has your children.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm concerned with. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want hell. Like, I do not. I've lived it. No.
You do want hell. You love hell. You love pain. Because if you didn't, you would walk away from a situation that's so obvious that you should not get involved with. And you're listening to the devil, and you think it's you, and you're allowing it to convince you to go into hell again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's funny because honestly, I've forgiven. You know, I've watched your content, and I've did what you said, and honestly, we've been having those problems ever since I started watching your content. But it's like I told you this yesterday. I said, I feel so much better now about myself now, because last week I actually went to my mom and forgave her the way that you suggested. And honestly, thank you. I just want to thank you for this, Jesse, because I really resented my mom. I really, really, really resented her. And I told her this yesterday, my girlfriend, I said, my fiancée, who knows, but, that I really feel better about myself, but I really feel, crappy about the relationship now. I really do. Like, I don't know. There's just something, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel good. Honestly, I just feel good. And I've been following your teachings and stuff. But now I'm just like at a crossroad with this relationship. I don't know if I really want to be in it. I do know.
You do know.
Yeah.
But you won't do it because you're listening to evil.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Are you doing my silent prayer?
Yes. It's basically a meditation practice. That's what I really like. Yeah.
It's not a meditation. It's observation.
Okay. Yeah. And what's the difference?
It sounds like people who meditate, they hold on to things. They hold on to their thoughts or whatever. You want to observe those thoughts.
Okay. Yeah.
But
I've been doing it. Yes.
Fred, because of time.
Sure.
It's hard. If I didn't understand, I would not understand why you're doing what you're doing. But you listen. Have you heard me say that all thoughts are all lies all the time about anything?
Yes.
Well, why can't you see you're listening to thoughts right now?
Yeah.
That was a question.
You're right.
No, that was a question.
Why I can see that I'm listening to thoughts right now? Because I'm unaware. Because I'm maybe in denial. I'm in denial, I guess.
And this woman is showing you that you should not. You're getting into hell, and you can't walk away from it because you're listening to thoughts and emotions, and it's pulling you down into hell. And then when you marry this woman, all hell gonna break loose. And the devil gonna laugh at you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and there's only gonna be me to blame. Like I have to look in them. I can't even blame her.
And then the devil gonna tell you to get a vasectomy. Go and redo your vasectomy, and you're gonna make a baby with this woman. And then she's gonna take your children, and the devil gonna laugh again.
Yeah.
Every time you listen to thought, the devil laugh at you because you're going to always make the wrong decision. You'll follow your imagination. There's no truth in thoughts and emotions.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
If you marry this woman, you deserve what you get because you're going to catch pure hell.
Jesus. Yeah. Okay. I get it. Jesse, just one last thing.
And the devil is telling you that, she's good. There's some good things. She show up on time. How's that good? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
She's consistent, the devil tell you. And you're like, that's good.
But she's like really Catholic. Like she's really like.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And my ex, the mother of my, she was like a Bible. Now I realize how much a Bible thumper she was. That's the thing. I always stumble upon women that are so like religious, but then in their actions, it's like, what the hell, Like, what is that? It's like my ex, same thing. Like mother of my children. It's like she all go to church every Sunday.
The problem with you, not with her. She got her own problem, but the problem with you.
Yeah, that's true.
You are your own world. You are listening to evil, and falling for it. You're creating your own problems by listening to evil.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I know the answer. It's okay. I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna deal with it. Yeah. Thank you, Jesse.
You're gonna do what?
I'm gonna deal with it. I'm gonna deal with it.
Deal with what?
I'm gonna do it. Well, I'm gonna have to eventually. I'm gonna have to end the relationship. Like I have to be clear. I have to be clear in myself, in my head. That about everything, and I'm going to have to...
But why are you letting the devil show you that this woman is evil, and then you let the devil tell you, but she's good. Oh, there's something good about it. She knows how to wash dishes. What is...
Well, because everybody has good and bad in them.
No, they don't.
Like,
everybody don't have good and bad in them. They have all evil or they have all good. You can't have both.
Really?
Really?
Okay.
you're calling evil good. Just because she show up on time, you call that good. That's evil.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Jesus. Okay. I get it. Yeah. I just got to be clear. Yeah. I don't want to be a beta again in my own home. Like, forget it. Like, I'm done.
But she already know you're a beta.
Oh, yeah. And plus, you keep saying never, ever, ever, ever tell a woman your problems.
Yes.
Jesse, she knows all of my problems. All of them.
Man.
I'm screwed.
And yet you want to marry her. She's been married before. You see the hell in her. She knows all of your problems, and you still want to marry her.
I didn't realize. I thought I was less beta. I think I'm less than before. But I'm getting there. I'm getting, yeah. Well, thank you, Jesse. I don't know what to say.
I recommend that you work on yourself, man. You do the silent prayer. You watch those thoughts so you can stop worshiping the devil. You're getting all those thoughts from evil. None of those thoughts are your own. None of them. And you need to work on yourself. Do what you want. But the last thing you need is to be married right now. You got problems you haven't even resolved yet.
Mm-hmm.
And you already have children.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I just wanted a family too, like a united family.
This woman already see your weakness. She hates you already. She know all your problems. Men don't tell women their problems. That's a major weakness.
Yeah. Plus, she's Colombian. Like, she's a Canadian citizen. You know, but she's really a Colombian. Like, so she's not used to, like, she's more used to the macho kind of men. You know what I mean? Like. And so,
a macho man is still a weak man. That's why she's...
Yeah. Right. He can be also a weak man. Yeah.
Anyway, Frederick, I got to run.
Yeah, sure.
Well, baby.
Oh, my God, no. All right. Thank you, Jesse, for your time, okay?
Frederick, practice staying present. Stand out of your head. All thoughts are all lies all the time. And no such thing. You can't be good and bad. You're either all evil or you're all good. Mm-hmm. And so do the silent prayer, watch your thoughts, and do what you want. I would recommend, you already know you should not marry this woman. And I don't know why you need anyone to tell you that you shouldn't, but I do know why. But you're listening to evil, and evil is setting you up for total destruction. This woman will destroy you. She's already put fear in you. You had to run from her house.
That's true. That's true. I'm afraid. Yeah, there's a part of me who's afraid. That's true. That's so true. I don't want to piss her off too much, but that's bad. Because I don't know how she's going to react. Is she just going to flip? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Of course she will.
Yeah, that's bad. That's as beta as it gets.
And yet, you'll consider marrying her.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's a lot to take. I'm going to digest this.
Let me know how it goes.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you very much for your time.
What a mess!
Okay.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. 888-77-JESSE. Back in a moment.
When
You know, I'm 32 years old now, and I've been clinically depressed since I was 17 years old. And ever since I started listening to you a couple of months ago, bro, I don't even need to hear the word depression. I don't even care about that because that's not anything that I identify with anymore.
Nice.
I'm 100% cured. I'm 100% better because I've been listening to the Jesse Lee Peterson show. And I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate you. And I just can't even, you know, begin to tell you how much I really appreciate the things that you're doing for young men. Young men need to hear this, and young men need to know this message that you're delivering because it's important. It's vital to their lives, Jesse. I just wanted to let you know that, man.
That's amazing. I mean, you made my day, man. When I hear one soul has returned to the Father, it's like 1,000. It's better than silver and gold. So God bless you, man. Okay, folks, welcome back. I do shout-outs for you. Amazing. I've been doing a lot of shout-outs lately. Well, for the last number of years now. Birthday shout-out, wedding shout-out, anniversary shout-out, congratulations, encouragement, whatever the shout-out is. Go to cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Cameo, cameo.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. Check out Punchie's coffee. I have my own coffee now. You got your own cigarettes now, baby. You come a long, long ways. I have my own coffee now, baby. I come a long, long ways. Punchie coffee is good. Delicious. Every bag is roasted to order. Isn't that amazing? Every dime goes back to Bar, my nonprofit. So when you're drinking coffee and enjoying it, just know you're helping somebody. Rebuildingtheman.com/store. Rebuildingtheman.com/store. PUNCHIE, possibly S. Punchie's Coffee. And last but not least, don't forget to follow, like, comment, subscribe. We on Jesse Lee Peterson on Instagram, JLP Talk on X, Cozy, COZY.TV/JLP, where Christ is King, and Rumble.com/Jesse Lee Peterson. You got to know how to rumble. Let me go quickly back to the phone. John is a first-time caller out of Virginia. John, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome.
My question is about evangelism. You know, Jesus, he asked us to save that which is lost. And so we should have a heart to reach out. A little bit of my background, I was in college, and I realized that the science teachers would present themselves as almost like priests of their religion. So they would almost create an idol for people. There's a lot of people that, you know, God says stay away from idol worship, of course. And, you know, even women can become idols, unfortunately. So I'm just wondering if it's okay to use science to evangelize people.
No. You shouldn't use anything to evangelize people. What does that mean, evangelize them? What does that mean?
Okay. So like DNA, for instance.
What?
When I was in college, DNA was given as they skipped over the metaphysical.
No,
part.
I'm asking you, what is evangelize? You say you say you did that?
Well, no, I just have a heart to, whenever people like baby people, like in their head, there's babies in their head, they're looking for something. They're either looking for drugs or women or something to fill that void for God. And so I just have a heart for these people because people stand up and they're like, oh, evolution. And
what does it mean to evangelize people?
It just means to save them.
What?
Save them from the lost, from being lost.
How can you save them? You can't save anyone.
Because when people have a decision to make in their life, sometimes when, like you did at one point, you was either going to turn to God or turn to an idol. So you could be there to be like, no, don't worship that idol. You know, like someone probably did for you at some point. They said, no, that's an idol.
No, that's not true. What the? And so when you say you have it in your heart to do, what does that mean? What does that feel like to have something like that in your heart?
It's just to have the heart of God. You know, like,
do you have the heart of God?
Well, to be like Jesus is the heart of God.
Do you have the heart of God?
To save that which is lost.
Do you have the heart of God?
Do I have the heart of God? I have desires, and the heart is desire.
Do you have the heart of God?
Yes, I do.
And what is the heart of God?
To desire to save that which is lost.
But you can't save that which is lost.
Well, pointing people to Jesus would save them.
Have you gone to Jesus?
Yes.
And how do you know that?
How do I know? I went to Jesus because he actually changed my entire life.
From what to what?
From a sinner to a child of God.
And so you don't sin anymore?
Do I sin?
You say you changed your heart from sin into a child of God, right?
Yeah.
And do you don't sin anymore?
As much as the rest of the saints.
No,
sin.
Do you still sin anymore? Since Jesus changed your heart.
Well, he changed my heart, but that doesn't mean I don't have a body.
No, I'm asking you. You said, I'm only asking what you said. You said that you went to Jesus and he changed your heart from sinning, right? To a child of God, to a child of God, right?
Yeah, so it changed my
mind.
mind.
So I asked you, do you still sin? And you say?
Not in my mind.
Will you do it if not in your mind?
Well, Paul had sin in his body.
No, are you still doing it? I'm asking you.
No, I'm not. I'm not doing the things I used to do.
So you don't sin anymore?
No, I don't think so.
You don't? You sure?
Well, as much as everyone else does. Like Paul the Apostle, he even said that he.
No, we talk about you. You went to Jesus, and Jesus changed that, right?
Yes, he did.
And so does that mean you don't do it anymore?
Correct. I don't do the things I used to do.
You don't sin anymore?
Absolutely not.
Do you still have anger?
No, I don't have anger.
You never get angry?
I have love.
So you never get angry?
I don't think I get angry.
Do you ever get angry?
I don't think so.
You're not sure?
I don't get angry. So
have you forgiven your mother?
Yes, absolutely.
You went to her?
I did.
And what'd you say to her?
I took your good advice, by the way. Thank you for that.
And what'd she say?
She said she actually cried, and I, held back tears, of course. But we came to the mutual agreement that we are in a sinful nature and life's not perfect.
Amazing. And so your question for me is what?
So my question is, whenever I was in college, I seen the college professors pretending like they were some kind of let's say, priest of their religion, let's say. And so they would teach, listen real close, it's hard to get out, but DNA has two different kinds of nature, okay? It has physical, which means the CATG, but also has metaphysical.
But what's your question about them?
Well, if you let me get to it, just give me 10 seconds.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
So, and then there's the metaphysical nature of DNA that instructs the creature to be the creature, whether it's a tree or a fish or whatever. It has a metaphysical nature. And in the Bible, it says that God breathed his mind or his breath or his life. And that's actually encoded in the DNA molecule. It's an instruction of life. So when I present this argument, it's like I become an alpha. Like, no one can argue against that, even scientists. So they're like stumped. So I use it all the time, and it worked. And then, especially against people who are atheists and evolutionists, they can't understand why there's instructions, because nature doesn't write instructions.
John, let me do this because of time. So your question about all that is what?
I guess I use this argument of DNA being instructions, and nature doesn't write instructions. Only a mind.
And why are you using that argument at all?
Because there's so many people who are lost, and they're looking for a savior.
And
they
how
find
is
an
that?
idol.
How is that helping them to find God? When
Because
you argue with them about science, how is that helping them to find God?
It turns them away from the idol of science.
And then, so how does that help them to find God, though?
Because if you crush an idol, what's left?
Satan.
No, God.
No, but all people worship Satan until they overcome anger.
Well, Satan erects idols, though. And then if we crush the idols, then they can see Jesus.
But the only way you can crush the idol, you have to crush thoughts and emotions.
Yes, which would worship an idol. So after I crush the idol, I try to reach into them and say, do they actually desire God, or are they just trying to justify their sin? So that kind of helps me with how much time I should spend with people. Because if they desire sin...
If they desire sin, what?
If they desire sin, you're going to waste your time. I waste my time so much until I realize if they're actually desiring truth or looking to justify their sin.
Let me do this because of time. Don't waste your time on people.
Okay.
Yeah, don't wait. Let people live in their hell.
Can I answer your question?
Does Satan know God?
He knows God, but he does not obey God.
Amazing. Okay. I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday, John. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, buddy. Super chat. Super.
Super chats. Over on buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk, forgive yo mama, puts musical note emojis. I know what prayer can do. Prayer had brought me through. Now I'm concerned about you. You ought to pray some too. I don't know how this goes, so I'm kind of destroying the song.
I know what prayer can do. Prayer can make you free. Pray in the morning, pray at night, pray all the way. I know what prayer can do.
Pray in the morning, any time of day. I know prayer will keep the devil away.
Yeah.
And
Thank
nice.
you.
And then he says, Happy Bible Thumper Thursday, y'all.
Right on. Thank you very much. Amazing.
Thank you. Forgive your mama.
Yeah, thank you.
Luke, 637 KJV, says someone with a coffee. Judge not, and ye shall not be judged. Condemn not, and ye shall not be condemned. Forgive, and ye shall be forgiven. Jesse speaks the truth about what you do to others, you're doing to yourself. And if you forgive, God will forgive you.
That's for sure. As long as you judge, you're judging you. Amazing. Thank you.
Him Diddy said about the people who take drugs for God.
What?
About the people who take drugs for God. Him Diddy says, first dude I knew killed himself.
Somebody that was taking drugs for God.
To see God, yeah.
Amazing. Nick told me he knows some guy that...
a famous person.
Killed himself with that stuff.
Horrible.
What? So a famous person did that, huh?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
Owen from County Clare, Ireland, bought a coffee. Hi, Jesse Haken gang.
Hi.
Jesse, you still live in that 1974 house that you bought without any down payment?
No.
Please sing us a verse of "I'll Always Love My Mama" by the Intruders. Regards from County Clare, Ireland.
I will. Thank you. Amazing. And no, I don't live in that house. I sold the house.
The following year.
That house went from $25,000. Isn't that something? A house cost $25,000 in the Jewish area.
Nice.
And in 1 year, it went to $100,000. And I'm like, what the?
Dang.
Talk about investment.
Forgive Yo Mama.
Thank you, though.
Coffee from Forgive Yo Mama, another one. When I hear the If poem by Rudyard Kipling,
oh yeah,
I begin to understand that if I get offended, it just goes to show the things I put ahead of God. If I just keep God first, I can count it all joy because I'm able to see.
Very good point. A very good point. Stay with it. Stay with it. Stay with it. Thank you.
Giacomo bought a coffee, referring to that pastor calling for violence seemingly against Elon Musk. He's another fake pastor defending Rome. Rome as in Social Security or whatever. He's a beta.
Oh, man.
Nice to hear from you, Giacomo.
Amazing. Thank you, Giacomo.
Tony C. on X live. I'm pouring concrete today while listening to your show. Ha!
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
Oh, amazing. And you can listen to the show while pouring concrete by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. Amazing. Thank you.
Alan bought a coffee. I am new to the show. Just wanted to say thank you. My wife tells me I'm blessed and to focus more on positive thinking, but I struggle with it. After watching your show, I now plan to tune in as often as I can, work dependent. I love how you preach about positivity and non-reactionary thinking. Both are struggles of mine. I'm not the most devoted Christian, but I do believe seeing your show is a step in the right direction. Thank you. God bless.
Stay with it, stay with it, stay with it. No such thing as positive thinking. You want to not think at all. No thinking is the way you want to go. All right? All thoughts are all lies all the time about anything. So let all thoughts go, and you'll be free. Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Jesus even said it. Take no thought for your life.
Yep.
13 above asks, question for Jesse, please.
Ask.
Will Jesus speak about JFK, RFK, MLK, etc. released documents? He said Jesus.
I'm sure that was a typo.
Maybe he meant, will Jesse speak of the JFK, RFK, MLK released documents?
Yeah, I'm sure they didn't mean Jesus. But I don't know. I have to wait to see if you're asking me. Thank you.
Age of Inversion, a monthly supporter on the Rumble crew, says they're doing a chicken holocaust over a hoax.
Thank you.
Nice. Watch out.
Amazing. Thank you.
Pastor Shadley gifted a subscription over on the Rumble crew. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. I appreciate that.
10 coffees, very generous, from Hannes. Thank you for everything, Jesse. Your experts are all high on Mamma Mia Huasca juice. Shame. Can I have some? Big smile.
Amazing. Thank you.
Army Ann
Thanks
with
for the support.
Army Ann on D Live with a diamond. Oh, Joelle. Cheers to the newlyweds. Congrats.
Oh, amazing.
Applause emoji.
Nice.
Angban Art with a coffee. The leaves are falling in the stream. The river flows away.
Nice.
Poetic. Thank you, Angban. Calvin from
What's
Ohio.
OOP?
What? OOP?
Oh, oops.
Oop. Oh.
Oop.
Oh. He made it public, so once it's public, it's real public.
Joel got married, folks.
Yeah.
Oh. Did y'all know Joel married? One day in the studio, he was here, and I was laughing like really hard, and people wondering, what's wrong with Jesse? He's laughing. It's because Joel had on his wedding ring, and you just moving your hands about. I was like, you move your hands about. The wedding is a secret. And he was like, oops. So congratulations to Joel Friday. Amazing.
And the leaves are falling in the stream. The river flows away. That was worth reading again.
Amazing. Thank you. I got to stop right there.
We'll read the rest later, guys. Thank you.
Thank you all for your support. Amazing. And next time you see Joel, notice he has a wedding ring on.
Nice.
Oh, oops. Let me go quickly to Josh out of Georgia. Josh been waiting a while. Josh, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Jesse.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah, I wanted to say a happy 35th anniversary, man, for Bond.
It's amazing, huh? And Josh, thank you for your support through the years, too. I really, really, really appreciate it. And it's amazing that 35 years of starting Bond has gone by so fast.
I know, man. It's like, made me want to start me a little fellowship somewhere, you know?
How's your little fellowship?
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, no problem. I was calling for the biblical question, man.
Does Satan know God?
I would leave this as a I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Because it's I don't know God, and I believe the way to know God is to let go of all my beliefs about Satan and God. And so I just don't even. I would rather just not believe about God at all. Like Denny from Bulgaria made a great point about believing about God versus believing God. So I don't want to believe about an idea about Satan either, and I would just leave it blank as I don't know.
Very interesting, Josh. And I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. That's amazing.
All right.
Nice. Shout out to Denny from Bulgaria.
Shout out, Denny. Shout out. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Josh.
Okay. Thank you, man.
All right. I got one more super chat I meant to get to.
Calvin from Ohio bought a coffee. Hey, answer this question before I say anything because you're doing it again. If I said to everyone, a cheeseburger is the greatest food in American history, is that a fact or my opinion? Quadruple question mark. Because again, you're throwing around DJT, that's Donald J. Trump, as our greatest president.
He is.
When he's not even better than the something that I dropped this morning. Sideways laughing with tears coming out. And so to answer your question, since he asked me to answer,
right,
I say it's a fact that the cheeseburger is the greatest food in American history. And it's a fact that Donald J. Trump is our greatest president. Those are facts.
Nice.
Think about McDonald's. It's huge.
Made me want to run out and get one right now.
Indeed.
McDonald's also have, well...
Even though they're pro-illegal alien, okay, but anyway.
They got rid of DEI, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Look like I may be wrong, but look like I heard that.
I only read CNN.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Amazing.
Thank you, Calvin from Ohio. And thank you, guys. That's all for now.
Right on. Let me go to Shane, a first-time call out of Minnesota. Shane.
Hey, nice to talk to you, Jesse.
You too, Shane. What a shame. Shane, can you hold for me? I gotta take the break. Yeah. I didn't realize we were right there like this. Hold on, buddy.
Okay.
Let me take a quick break. 1 more hour to go. Hate news, not the fake news, but the hate news is coming up now, and I'll be back in a moment. 888-77-JESSE. Back in a moment. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really, really, really want to understand, They overcome it just like that, out of one counseling session. If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven.
Homelessness. It is making headlines. It is in the top news of Commie Nonsense Network, CNN today. A Taiwan explosion killed at least like 5. Wow. And pray for R. Kelly. A so-called judge upheld his conviction and his 30-year sentence. 30 years for the greatest singer alive. And 14,000 illegals arrested. Is that good? Since Trump took office, I guess. Border crossings are down 92%. That sounds good. A 16-year-old trans student is falling right into the trap of being a pawn for the liberals. And there's a quote that Commie Nonsense, of course, shares from this 16-year-old trans student. We wish this person well. This is the end of hour 2 already of Bible Thumper Thursday, February 13th, AD 2025. There is one line open. You can call in right now. This is the boomer type sign for call in. This is the Zoomer or younger sign or alpha sign for calling in, because you call in with a flat phone nowadays. During Hake News, Not Fake News, and you can get on hold to get on air with JLP in this coming third hour. But it is Hake News, Not Fake News. Commie Nonsense Network, CNN reports, city and state officials in parts of the so-called United States are uncertain how to respond to a surge in homelessness and encampments that have cropped up under bridges and in parks since how long? The last, 10, 12, 15, 18 years? It's out of control. Meanwhile, people who live in those encampments and evil advocacy groups say they are alarmed by efforts to criminalize the, in many cases, criminal population, rather than build shelters and affordable housing, which is not the problem, by the way. This week, the city council up in Fremont, California, I would think that's up in NorCal near the Bay Area, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. Voted to criminalize aiding and abetting homeless camps. Oh, yes. In an unusual move that evil advocates say could stifle help for people who need it. It's the last thing they need is help, more help. Give me a break. Anyway, the new policy comes about 7 months after the righteous, yet so-called Supreme Court ruled that ticketing homeless people does not constitute cruel and unusual punishment. Right on. That seems like a step in the reasonable right direction, maybe. And that Taiwan explosion, a blast inside a shopping mall in Taiwan earlier today. That's in China, right? I'm trolling, okay? I'm trolling, sorry. Killed at least 5 people, injured several others per local officials. Dramatic videos of the explosion in the city of Taichung, I may be butchering that, on the island's west coast, showed debris in large panels of a building's exterior blown out as a loud bang is heard. Footage shot by bystanders of the aftermath showed the street below littered with debris, as if homeless people were there. As hundreds evacuated that area, Taiwanese so-called President Lai Ching-te, Ching-te, lowercase te at the end, urged authorities to investigate the cause of the accident. Duh. You didn't need that. Anyway, by the way, speaking of these Asians, car makers Nissan and Honda, they called off their merger talks. Japan's Nissan and Honda have put the brakes on merger talks, per CNN, that would have created the world's third largest car maker. A federal appeals court Wednesday upheld singer R. Kelly's convictions and his 30-year prison term, FYI. That's the latest on R. Kelly's so-called charges. about 14,000 so-called undocumented immigrants, which is a misnomer, have been arrested in the United States. They are documented because they're documented as having been arrested. They're illegals since Trump's inauguration, per his border czar, Tom Homan. Border crossings down 92% for the same period. So he said in a radio interview. I'm James Hake. Now back to JLP.
To stand up strong, face the truth about themselves, to understand what went wrong. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way. I know we can find a way to stand up, stand up.
Uniting the races with truth instead of dividing them with lies. We're also rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Welcome to the third hour of the show today. You can get involved by calling 888-7753. 773-888-77 And my biblical question, and it's a doozy. Does Satan know God? Does Satan know God? Oh, Lord! Why George, Lord? Not George. Why George? Does Satan know God? You can listen to the show no matter where you are and what you're doing. We're heard around the world by everybody and their mama if you're black. Everybody and their mama if you're white. You could be running from the police, from ICE. You could be in an undisclosed location like the Anchor Baby. You can be in a blue state and they helped you hide from ICE. You could be because what's the S guy name? Elon Musk is taking away your money. No man with the money. One black guy said he was at one of these rallies with Maxine Ward and all those people. I think some rally. Take your head off our money. Oh, that ain't your money. What's You can be one of go commit violence on Elon if you want. You can be listening to the show. No violence though, okay? Stay away from violence. What the? But anyway, you can be listening to the show on your iPhone or iPad by calling the listen line on TalkStream Live at 605-615-4131. 605-615-4131. Go to buymeacoffee.com/JLP to have your comments read out loud and support. You can donate and support and have your comments read out loud. You can donate and have your comments read out loud by going to buymeacoffee.com/JLP Talk or Bond JLP Cash App. Bond JLP Cash App. It's Thursday. Every Thursday is Bible Thumper Thursday. Oh, Lord!
The sign outside the New Era Baptist Church in Birmingham reads, "A black vote for Trump is mental illness."
It's a disgrace.
On the other side, it says a white vote for Trump is pure racism.
Why, George, Lord?
A real mama's boy. You will emerge from that as an atheist.
I see here, it seems like these kids are
just regurgitating Bible verses. I want to know if you really understand what it is that you are preaching.
What a mess! Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Before I go back to Shane, some of you might be aware of this incident. According to NBC News, I just became aware of this morning in my meeting with my producer, Derek. According to NBC News, a Washington State priest was attacked by a man during a prayer. And the attack was captured on a church live stream during the service. Watch this from NBC News. That's 13.3, ain't it?
Oh, I may not have that.
Oh, y'all have it? Let me know when you get it. I'll come back to it. I'll come back to that. In the meantime, let me go to Shane. Back to Shane out of Minnesota. A first-time caller. Shane, thank you for holding. Go ahead.
Well, thanks for having me, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
I'm grateful for you. You know, hopefully you're having a good day and all that.
Thank you, buddy.
Inspiring a lot of people.
Right on.
I just had a couple quick questions.
Okay.
First one is I feel like I already know the answer after listening to your show, but how do I realize which way the Holy Spirit is talking to me? Because I'll have my brain telling me one thing, I'll have my heart telling me a different thing, and I'll have my gut telling me a different thing.
So you have three. You
So
have
which
your
one do I
brain.
listen to?
You have your brains, your heart, and your guts talking to you.
Yep.
What the?
Yep.
And what does the brain sound like?
That sounds like the devil. And the heart just sounds like it's trying to convince me. The gut seems like it's the Holy Spirit, but
And
I
how?
don't want to always rely on my gut.
Give
for the
me an
Holy Spirit.
example of the heart trying to convince you.
Well, I got to bring up the gut as well. If
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
get
have
to the
somebody
gut.
that I know I shouldn't be around.
I'm
but
sorry?
my heart is saying, give them another chance. If I'm around somebody or have somebody involved in my life, but my heart is telling me give them another chance, but my gut is saying, nah, it's not in your best interest.
But that's not your gut nor your heart. That's the devil telling you to give him another chance.
Yep.
Your guts can't speak.
My other question would be,
Did you hear what I said?
yeah, my gut can't speak.
And your heart can't either.
Amen to that.
But how come you think? Why do you think your heart is speaking to you?
Because I care too much, care about other people more than I should about myself.
And how do you know that?
Putting other people before me.
And why?
I don't know, because I'm a fool or a beta.
Well, beta. And beta, how do you know you putting people before you? Give me an example if you can.
Making sure other people eat or they got a place to go or, just can accomplish their errands or.
But you're not
fix
doing
problems
that
in their
because
life.
you're not doing that because you putting them before you. You're doing that because you have fear and you're weak and you're trying to appease people, hoping that you can get along with them.
Yep.
Why don't you overcome that?
That's a challenge, Jesse. I don't know. I mean, I need to work on it.
And
My other
how
thoughts
long?
kind of related.
What?
Huh?
How long you been listening to my show?
About 2 years, a year or so.
And have you heard me say you got to go and forgive your mother?
Yep.
And
Yeah,
have-
I have.
And have you done
I
that?
don't know if I went outright and forgave my mother, but
And
I
why-
don't really blame her for nothing. I was kind of a reckless child,
But you became
so
just like
however
your
my
mother.
parents treated me.
What?
Say that again?
You became just like your mother.
Yeah, maybe in a way, trying to manage people.
Trying to what?
Trying to manage people like my mother.
Yeah.
Treat them like they're
You're just like your mother. Why haven't you gone and apologized for resenting her for what she's done to you so you can be free of trying to appease people?
I don't want to guilt trip her. I don't want to. I mean, I think it's something I should do.
Come back to your phone.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, speak into the phone. And so why have you gone to her and forgiven her so you can overcome that?
I think the bigger part is because I feel like I deserved it. Or, you know.
You deserve to be traumatized by your mother?
I don't want to say that, but, you know, yeah. Yeah, when you say it like that, it sounds a little crazy. Yeah.
So you're saying you deserve to be traumatized by your mother?
No, I don't deserve that, Jesse.
But what do you mean you deserve it?
I've made a lot of bad decisions or upset my parents. So.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
And so, how will you be free of all this if you don't forgive your mother? Because your mother is your God. Anyone that has anger, whomever they're angry at, is their God. How will you know God if you don't go and forgive her?
Amen to that.
No, that was a question. That was a question.
Repeat it again. How will
you ever know God if you don't go and forgive your mother?
Right, because if I can't forgive my mother, how am I going to forgive anyone else? That's a great point.
No, that was a question. How will you ever know God if you don't go and forgive her for what she's done to you?
I won't be able to.
And you don't want to know him?
No, I do want to know him.
Then why, if you wanted to know him, you would have gone and forgiven her so he can forgive you?
Amen to that.
No, that was a question.
I think I kind of have forgiven her. I've never really just approached a situation like that just because.
Then you have not
I don't
forgiven
know.
her.
You know, we perpetuate the cycle. Like, our parents were traumatized. We're traumatized. Hopefully we don't traumatize the young ones and all that.
But you are. You can't help it. You have the same spirit your mother has. You're evil, and you can't do nothing but be evil. Because even trying to appease other people is evil. You're doing it out of fear. You're not doing it out of love.
Amen.
So either you love your hell and want to overcome it and go and forgive, or you don't love your hell. You want to overcome and go forgive your mother. Why? But I know you're not telling me why you're not forgiving her. Why haven't you gone to her?
Oh, I forgive her. I think
Shane, why have you gone to your mother and why have you gone to your mother and forgiven her for what she's done to you?
Because I'm a fool and I got a high inflated ego that I need to deal with.
And you love that?
No, I don't love that.
But then why don't you drop it there by forgiving?
I do forgive. I just need to do it in person. I think I'll do that today. I know I'll do that today.
And forgive your father for not protecting you from her. And do the silent prayer so you can find your way.
Amen to that. Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome. Let me know how it goes, all right?
I will.
All right. Let me go to Jaden out of California. Jaden, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, Jesse?
All is well, Jaden.
Nice, bro. Yeah, can I just say real quick, that caller you had a few calls ago who was talking about like DNA and stuff. I'm a Christian, and even I didn't know what he was talking about.
It sounded like he had gone to some school or somewhere, and they have speak up for me as well, right into the phone. But he's listened to some scientists or something, and he saw that as a problem. Because some people are listening to it.
Amazing. All right. Well, I got a question about the Bible.
Okay.
In Mark 3:5, it said Jesus got angry.
And what about it?
But you said Jesus never got angry.
I don't know who typed it like that, who put that in the Bible in that manner, because it's deceiving a lot of people. Anger is evil. Anger, anyone that has anger is of their father, the devil, no matter what they say or how they act, because there's never a reason to be angry. In love, there is no anger. Jesus did not get angry. Jesus was able to live by discernment, not by emotions.
It says, and when he looked around with anger,
right,
being grieved for the hardness of their hearts, so you're saying that was wrong?
Yes.
Okay. How do they write the Bible wrong?
Because human beings are evil and they have an agenda, and over the years they have rewritten the Bible to fit their agenda in order to deceive the world. Do you have anger?
Yeah.
And why don't you drop your anger?
I'm trying to.
How by doing what?
By not reacting when I do get angry.
Do you believe that anger is good, that Jesus had anger?
No, but I was just wondering why the Bible would say if it's not a good thing.
Right. And why don't you drop your anger?
Because I'm not really, besides what I'm doing right now, I don't really know what to do.
You haven't. How long you been listening to the show before today?
For like a year or two.
You have never heard me say how to overcome anger?
Well, I heard you say it.
Have you done that?
You mean the forgive your mom part?
Yeah.
No.
And why not?
Because I'm not in a position where I could do it yet.
Meaning that you can't FaceTime her or anything?
No, because if I do, she's going to kick me out.
Oh,
and I'm waiting.
You live with your mother?
Yeah, for right now, I'm waiting until I get shipped off in the Marines, and then I'll tell her like the day before I go. So she doesn't kick me out.
How old are you?
I'm 18 now.
Oh, I see. Amazing.
I just turned 18 a little bit ago. Yeah.
So you believe that if you went and forgave your mother right now, she would put you out of the house?
Yeah.
Really? Why do you believe that?
Just the way she acts whenever I'll correct her about like a little thing, and she'll just blow up about it. Right? She'll be like, "Don't leave the gate unlocked, or the homeless are gonna come." And I'm like, "If a homeless comes, I'll just take care of it myself." She's like, "No, you won't take care of the homeless." I was like, so I don't really want to deal with all that until I'm ready to go.
I understand. Well, forgive your mother and your father and do the silent prayer, and you will see that Jesus did not have human anger. Human anger is evil. Jesus had righteousness. He was able to see what was wrong, see evil, and not overreact to evil, but to do what needs to be done without having he didn't judge it. He saw it, but he didn't hate it. He didn't hate what he saw.
Right. The one thing I don't get though is because I've heard you say that when you forgive your mother and return to your father,
yeah,
you get your father's nature, right? You
yes.
drop your mom's nature. But what if my dad is, and I don't hate my dad at all, but my dad is objectively a beta male.
Right.
So would I get his beta male nature?
No, you're going to get God's nature when you forgive your earthly father, because whether your earthly father is beta or not, he's still a lost prodigal son. And so he's still a son of God. He's just a beta son. And so when you forgive the son, which is your father, then the Father God will forgive you, and you will have his nature, not the weakness of your father.
So I won't get my father's nature, then I'll get God's nature.
Yes. It's just that you can't get to the spiritual father until you forgive the earthly father.
So that's another thing I don't get is like, why doesn't the Bible say to forgive your mother explicitly?
Well, it said for you to honor your parents, and it just means don't resent them for the mistakes they made, the evil they done to you. They could not help themselves.
But where are you getting that?
Getting what?
That interpretation.
The Bible?
The Bible did not say all that other stuff.
The Bible doesn't tell you to forgive your parents.
It tells you to forgive in general. But you're talking about only specifically your mom and dad. I'm asking where did it say
No,
that
what's going to happen? Well, first of all, when you forgive your parents, you will no longer resent anyone. You would not hold anything against anyone, even your enemy. It would be impossible to be angry anymore. And if you have no anger, you only have love, which is the nature of God. So when you forgive your parents, especially your mother, because your mother's nature is evil, you come through your mother, so you're coming through evil, right? And she can't help it. It's not her.
Jesse, I agree with you, but the thing is that I just don't see where in the Bible where it says that is the reason you are angry is because your mother.
It says that all who are born of the flesh must be born of the spirit.
Right, but that doesn't say the mother.
What, do you come from the mother?
I do, yeah.
And is it so? Did you come through the flesh or not? Is she fleshly?
Right, but like that's like an interpretation that you're adding, which I agree with, but the Bible didn't like say that explicitly. You know what I mean?
Not quite. I don't quite know what you mean. But Jason,
like
I gotta run. I can't.
Word.
I can't. What do you mean by that?
It didn't say word for word what you're saying. You added the parts that you're saying right now.
That if you forgive, then God will forgive you?
Not that part, but the mother part.
Is she the flesh?
That's what I'm talking about.
So if she's
all right.
If she's the flesh and you come through your mother, who else would he be talking about?
That's a good point.
No, that was a question.
Nobody. Well, maybe you could be talking about your own flesh.
You came through your own flesh? What? You must have been smoking some of that. What's the name of that stuff? Those people.
Some of that ayahuasca.
You must have been smoking some of that ayahuasca.
Yeah, all right. I'll think about that.
When are you going to the military?
April 14th.
I wish you well, man. This is, if ever there was a time, and I'm not telling you to go or not, but if ever there was a time to go to the military, it would be now.
Amazing.
Amazing. I wish you well.
All right, have a good one.
Are you going to be a Marine?
Yes, sir.
You know how to, are you black?
Nope.
Oh, good.
Quarter black.
I'm about to ask, did you know how to swim?
Amazing.
But I do wish you well and forgive your mother and father, all right?
All right.
Are you doing the silent prayer yet?
No.
Start doing it.
I'm on and off.
No, do it and stay with it. Especially now that you're going to the Marine.
Yeah, you're right.
All right?
All right. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Amazing. Let me go to first-time caller, Rob, out of Pennsylvania. Rob, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yes, sir.
I have an answer for your question, your biblical question.
Does Satan know God?
I believe that Satan would know God because at one time he was an angel living with God. He actually convinced several of God's angels to take his side, and they actually had a battle, which is how Satan got casted to hell.
And so you believe that Satan does know God or not?
I believe that he does know God in the fact that he was an angel of God at one time, and he also battled God.
Are you in your car or something?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm warming up my truck.
Well, okay.
here I can get out of it. I'm getting ready to go to work.
Oh, okay, I understand. So I'll make a long story short. So you believe that Satan does know God because he was once an angel and he went in battle, and because of that, he knows God?
Yes, which is the reason why he resents God so bad, because God's so pure, and he envied God, and he became very evil.
Very interesting, man. I have to hold my response until Sunday, but I do appreciate that.
Thank you very much, man. I think you're awesome.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate
All
it.
right.
All right. Bye. Bye now. 888-77-JESSE. Let me go to first-time caller out of Texas, Jeff. Jeff, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Good morning, Jesse. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hey, I just wanted to give my shot at the biblical question.
Does Satan know God?
Yeah, so there's no way, right? Because, I mean, how can you truly know anything? You know, all we really have are, like, perceptions and projections. So, like, how is there any way that Satan can know God? Because he's evil, you know? How can evil ever truly know good?
Interesting. Amazing.
Satan's a very simple creature, right? He only knows evil.
Well, I appreciate that, Jeff. And I'll put my little 2 cents in on Sunday. Had you ever wondered or thought about that before it became a biblical question?
No.
Amazing.
You know, I've listened to you for years, and it wasn't until, just this morning I really felt kind of inspired to give you a call. I'm a really big fan of your show.
Thank
Sorry
you,
if I
man.
sound a little nervous.
No problem. I understand. But thank you, and I'll put my 2 cents in on Sunday, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you for everything, Jesse. Have a good day.
You too now. 888-7753-773. Super chat. Super.
Woozy with a rumble rant. Isaiah 29:13. These people draw near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips. This is God talking. But their heart is far from me. God straight up dunking on the Bible thumpers. Bible thumpers in shambles. Thank you, Woozy.
Thank you, Woozy. Amazing. Thank you.
Great verse.
Yeah.
Hangman Art with another coffee. Quote, our battle is not with the person in front of us, but the spiritual forces at work within them. And that's a quote from a famous author.
We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against spirits and principalities and wickedness in high places. Government everywhere. Oh, amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Angban R. April bought a coffee. Morning, Jesse. Hey, how y'all?
Morning. All is well. Amazing.
Oh, the wall doing up. What does the Great White Hope have to say today? Asks April.
Let me check. Someone gave me a new Great White Hope pen. What the? The collusion delusion is over. The Great White Hope. Someone gave me this on Sunday, I think. Yeah, Sunday. Amazing.
Thank you, April.
Yeah.
Hannah has bought 3 coffees. Biblical question.
Does Satan know God?
The devil does know God and hates the light because it burns him. Or he doesn't know God, but he's good at imitating and parroting the truth in your imagination. The devil is all-knowing but zero comprehension. Emoji, says Hannes.
So Hannes is saying he does and he don't?
Right.
Is that, he does know him or he doesn't know? He don't. He doesn't know him.
Right. What you just said.
But then I thought
he does said, or he doesn't. Says Hannes.
So we don't know which one he said.
Right.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Hannes.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I know. Matthew bought a coffee. Everyone who has done ayahuasca tells that they met a feminine spirit or a quote-unquote goddess. Does that sound like God or someone else? Mama Waska.
Amazing. What a mess. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah.
Another from Calvin in Ohio. Jesse, you just lied again. We done had this discussion before. You saying Jesus did not have human emotion, yet he was a human being. All caps. Make it make sense. In order for Jesus to have been the perfect sacrifice for us, he would have to have experienced all the human emotion and trials to fulfill the law. You ask people, what is a man, yet you do not know, since you can't even admit when you're wrong.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thanks, Calvin in Ohio.
Thank you.
Getting it out.
Yeah.
Ronnie in Ohio about a coffee, but I think we got to go take a break quick.
Let me take a quick break. Thank you all. I'll be back in a moment. 888-77-JESSE. Back in a moment. Now, I totally disagree with the way things are going, but you can't be angry because that's what the enemy wants. He wants to control you. They do things to make you mad so they can control you. It's like being married, and the wife would do things to make you mad, or she'll do things to make you feel good. And men do that to women too when they want something from the woman, especially sex. They'll make her feel good, or they'll make her angry. And the woman's gonna have to say, you don't want to be angry. You want to speak up. You want to disagree with what's going on. It's wrong, but do not be angry. Then you won't have fear. You won't have doubt. You won't have worries. You'll be able to see, but you got to stay away from anger. That's why you must forgive your mothers and your fathers so that you can overcome the spirit of anger. It's a spirit and it's wicked. Nothing good in anger because it has no love, folks. You need love to defeat evil. And love is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's from God. It's his nature. Okay, folks, welcome back. Couple announcement. The Hake Report is coming up at the top of this hour. The Hake, H-A-K-E report.com at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 11 a.m., Joel Friday TV. He black. Joel Friday TV at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then at 12 noon, the American Anchor Baby. Energy given to him by God. He put Trump ashame. At 12 p.m., and you can get it on
rumble.com/American Anchor Baby.
Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. All right? And the treasure chest is now open on D-Live. And last but not least, if you want counseling, we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven. By phone, Skype, or walk-in. Family, individuals. Go to rebuildingtheman.com, rebuildingtheman.com, or call 800-411-BOND, 800-411-2663. And be patient, because I'm totally booked up. But if anyone cancel or reschedule, we let the next person in line know. All right? So do we have that video with the priest thing? I mentioned this, but we didn't have it ready yet. We have it now. There was, according to NBC News, a Washington state priest was attacked by a man during a prayer. The attack was captured on a church live stream during a service. Watch this from NBC News.
Physical and spiritual. A terrifying moment during a weeknight prayer service in Spokane, Washington.
You know our wants, our troubles, and our sufferings.
A man leaping out of a pew, rushing to attack Father David Gaines near the altar.
It's all right, just calm down. What was going through my mind was trying to calm him down.
It's okay, it's all right.
The shocking attack caught on camera.
Someone get the security guard.
Leaving some in the congregation at the Cathedral of Our Lady of Lourdes stunned, as others raced to help their priest, now speaking out for the first time to us about that attack.
Were you hurt?
Yeah.
His attacker, later identified by police as Joshua Summers, a man unknown to the priest, but invited in by parishioners.
They told me that they invited him on their way in. They saw him on the side of the street and brought him in.
Summers was handcuffed by the security guard at the cathedral, and police arrived within minutes, arresting him on an assault charge.
That's amazing. That's what you get for inviting the devil into your church. What the? You invite Satan in? Okay. And after that, I guess during that or after that, the church did a bunch of Hail Marys for the man. Watch this from ABC News.
Defense is requesting the...
Summers appeared in court Thursday, restrained in handcuffs and facing other outstanding charges. His bail was set at $75,000. The public defender's office did not immediately respond to NBC News' request for comment.
Let's say a Hail Mary for that disturbed gentleman. Hail Mary.
The church praying for him moments after the attack. Another priest addressing it again the following day, with some humor and a nod to President Trump.
I asked Father Gaines tonight to process in with a square bandage over his ear. I would have done it. You know that.
Amazing. That's what you get for Hail Mary. Let's see if Mary going to help you now. Where's Mary when we need her? Amazing, huh? It sounded like that guy was sounded like the devil. You can hear, I guess that was his voice while he was attacking the priest. What a mess! Invite the devil in, that's what you're going to get. Have you ever wondered why people can't hear the truth? Well, according to Matthew 13:19, when someone hears the word of the kingdom without understanding, the evil one come and carry off what was sown in his heart. The evil one come and take it away, right? In his heart, what was sown in his heart. This is the seed sown on the edge of the path. Have you ever noticed that when you do hear the truth, right away the thoughts, which are Satan, which are evil, they say, oh no, that's not true. You don't need that. Oh no, it's not. Don't believe that. And they make you doubt, or they tell you don't need it, or no, and you get mad at the truth. But if you believe the truth, you would get on that path and you would stay there. But because you listen to thought, which are evil, which is of your father the devil, he robbed you right away. Or he tell you, oh, you don't need to go back to that church. You don't need that truth. Don't do the silent prayer. Don't be still and be with God. Don't be present. You don't want to return to the Father by overcoming the imagination, the illusion, and you believe it, and you stop. That's why people can't hear the truth. 888-7753-773. Let me go quickly to Jason out of Buffalo, New York. Jason, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
I want to answer the biblical question, and I want to prove to you that Christians are stupid.
Does Satan know God?
Yeah, that's kind of like the whole thing that Christians are stupid. God, you know the story of Job in the Bible?
Yes.
That's what God did. God told Satan to come here and show me all the stuff that he did to Job. You know all the ill stuff that your God did to Job. Your God did that to Job. Satan did not do that to Job.
Jason, you said you wanted to answer the biblical question first, and
yeah,
then you want
you
want to show me how stupid the Christians are, right?
Yeah, that's like
so
showing you
does Satan know God?
Yeah.
You say yes?
Yeah, Book of Job.
And why do you say yes, Satan knows God?
Because in the Book of Job, your God told Satan to come here, and he did all this stuff to Job. He showed Satan that he killed Job's family. He gave Job all these diseases. just to prove to Satan that he got this kind of loyalty from Job. So, yes, obviously they will have to have a relationship and know each other if you're doing all this in front of somebody to show somebody this.
And so you're saying that God wanted to show that Job was faithful and that he loved God not because of what he had. He loved God more than he did his own family, his material things, his cattle and everything. And so God, because Satan doubted that Job really loved God, but Job showed that he did love God. Are you saying that? And then God restored everything back to Job even more. Are you saying that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And so when God restored everything back, because he proved that Job loved God before anybody or anything else, who was stupid, Job or Satan?
Job.
Job was stupid for showing.
I'm gonna say God is stupid. Why would somebody that you kicked out of heaven and raised an army against you? Why would you want to show somebody loyalty? Why would you want to do that?
So
the same person that.
So God was stupid for showing that you can love him with all your heart, soul, and might without anything else.
That's not what he showed. He showed like
he did show that Job proved that he loved God by losing everything and never lost faith in God.
But he showed that.
Are you saying so? Who was stupid for that, Job or God?
I'm still saying God is stupid. Why would you show the same person that you kicked out of heaven? Why would you do that? Why would why would you the same person that you kicked out of heaven and raised the army against you? Why would you want to show them the loyalty? Why would you want to have that? What would be that interaction and stuff like that?
That's amazing. Why did you bother to read that knowing that you hate God?
Why did I bother to read that?
Yeah.
Oh, I like information and knowledge. I read a lot of stuff.
So why did you bother? You didn't answer that. Why did you bother to read that knowing that you hate God?
I can't hate something that don't exist.
Oh, amazing. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. 888-775-3773. Let me go to Ryan out of New Orleans. Ryan, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yeah, what's up, Joe? How you doing?
I'm sorry?
What's up, Jesse? How you doing?
All is well.
All right. Hey, I just want to ask you a good little question.
Yes, sir.
Why you always say that we have to get away from our thoughts? Because our thoughts and our opinions may be the truth to ourselves, and then it might show out later. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Because I look at it like this. Our thoughts is based on what's in our heart, right? So we might present it to somebody else, and they're going to say, no, you're wrong. So why can't our thoughts be our truth to ourselves?
Are your thoughts your own?
Yeah.
Your thoughts are your own?
Yeah.
Do you...
I'm an individual.
Do you create your own thoughts?
I'm an individual.
Do you create your own thoughts?
Yeah.
And how do you do it?
It's like, okay, let me tell you like this. You walk near a hospital, right? Mommy always says, don't touch that. You might burn yourself. You might go in and touch it. And you burn yourself. But you thought it was cool, but it was hot. Then you burned yourself.
How do you create your own thoughts?
What kind of question is that?
It's a question that needs an answer. You said you are your own thoughts. I'm asking you, how do you create your own thoughts?
You're living? So why not?
How do you create your own thought? How do you do that?
It's based on the individual.
Ryan, how you said that you are your own thoughts. And I ask, how do you create your own thoughts? How do you do it?
I don't know.
Then why do you say you are your own thoughts?
Because you actually are.
How? If you don't create your own thought, how are they yours?
You actually are.
How are they yours if you don't create any?
Why not? How? What would you say about it?
No, how are they yours if you don't create them?
See, you're not speaking about reality now. I hate that.
What?
You're not speaking reality.
What do you mean by that?
Because you're not.
So I ask you, how do you create your own thought? And you're saying you're not speaking reality. I don't know what that means. How you're not?
I don't know what that means.
Why you not answer that question? How do you create your own thoughts?
We are both confused on that.
I'm not confused.
I confuse you.
I'm not confused at all.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Because you believe.
How do you create?
In a great white
how
goat.
do you create your own thoughts?
How can you not?
How do you do it, Ryan?
How can you not?
Right. You're not telling us how you create your own thoughts.
What kind of question is that?
It's a question that needs an answer.
I can't answer that question.
Why can't you?
Because like I said, I'm my own individual.
Why can't you answer the question of how you create your own thoughts?
Because it's a crazy question.
It's a crazy question?
To me it is.
So how is it crazy to think you create your own thought? Or is it crazy to ask, how do you do it?
Hold up. How would you answer that, man? You laugh. You know it's because you know it's funny. You know it's funny. You think about that, Jeff. I'll call you back some other time.
All right, buddy. He's like, how you do that, George? Or whatever name. Isaiah 55:8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts. Neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. Oh, Lord, declares the Lord. Super chat. Super chats.
Ronnie from Ohio bought a coffee. Uncle Jesse, a caller from California tried to get you with a gotcha, but found in Mark 3 about Jesus, quote unquote, being angry. Matthew 12 and Luke 6 also describe this miracle, but only Mark depicts Jesus as looking at the Pharisees with anger. The bigger point is that his accusers were trying to entrap him for healing on the Sabbath. Jesus was without anger, period.
Absolutely. Anyone, you can bank on this one. Anyone that has anger is evil. Anyone that has any iota of anger is of your father, the devil. You're evil, and you have no love. There is never, ever, never, 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 but ever, 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 never, 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 ever, 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 and not all, not all, not all, not all, but good, but most. No, says hate shirts. Anyone that has anger has no love, period. And anyone that has anger is of their father, the devil. You're evil because there's nothing on earth that ever happened to you or could happen to you that calls for anger. There's never a reason to be angry. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Ronnie. Anthony.
Yeah, thank you, Ronnie.
Anthony on Cash App, Bond at JLP Cash App. What's wrong with the black churches? What a mess.
What a mess. What's wrong with the blacks? Amazing.
And shout out to the top contributors on the D-Live crew, including Army Ann, Games for Rec, Kid Combo 1.0, Wolf 336, the rest of the supporters. Thanks, as always. And shout out as well to Jules Verne, Age of Inversion, Urinal Chills, Son of Liberty, LGB, Pastor Chatelet, and the rest of the supporters and the Rumble crew. And thanks, guys. That's all for now.
Amazing. And speaking of a mess, thank you all very much. I appreciate it. Speaking of a mess, I got to quickly show you this. Talking about a mess, according to NDTV, Donald Trump has set up a faith office at the White House to strengthen ties with religious conservatives. On Friday, the U.S. president signed an executive order appointing televangelist Paula White-Cain, a longtime spiritual advisor, to lead the initiative. And if you are not familiar with Paula, watch this from X.
The Lord says, it is done. For I hear victory, 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 victory in the quarters of heaven. In the quarters of heaven, victory, 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 victory. For angels are being released right now. Angels are being dispatched right now. Hamanda aka ata raka teda baka sanda ata ambo osa kata rite eke banda ata rike diashata. For angels have even been dispatched from Africa right now. Africa right now. Africa right now. From Africa right now. They're coming here. They're coming here. In the name of Jesus, from South America. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here.
Is that a joke, that guy walking by?
I don't know.
He went that way reading a book with a towel and went back the other way. What a mess! That's what the president, according to this report, he picked this woman to be a spiritual advisor. Oh, God! This must be a joke. Or not true. It has to be a joke. Or to get the women vote, the so-called Christian women voters. What a mess. Let me go to ARDENE out of Colorado. ARDENE, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi.
Hey, ARDENE.
I've been talking in a couple weeks. Hi.
Can you believe President Trump would pick that crazy, insane woman for his spiritual leader?
It's sad.
What?
It's a sad world we live in now.
You can say that again.
I know. It's real sad that he has to go that route. It's real sad. But I wanted to talk to you about when you say we don't use our own mind, we don't have any choice in our thoughts. I disagree with you.
Yeah, I say that you don't create your own thoughts.
Okay. I disagree with you. Now, the reason being is you do agree, and I've heard you say this, that we use our thought process, our mind, our capability in our mind, to do basic chores that we have to do, our normal everyday life. We do that, correct?
Yeah, but you don't create those thoughts either.
We do. Well, it's done. That thought is done, and it's based on our senses. Basically, our senses that we have in our body. God has given us our senses. What?
Can you put the show on mute? I'm hearing the show in the background.
Oh, it's way in the living room.
Okay.
It's actually, yeah. Okay, now I'll shut the door. Okay. You know what?
So do you, even in practical thinking, you don't create those thoughts?
Yes, I do.
How?
Okay, when there is a fire on the stove, when, say, my husband's burning something. Okay, cool. There's a fire on the stove. I know to put a cloth over it or use fire extinguisher. I'm creating my own thought right there.
And who gave you the ability to know what to do?
The tools God gave us our brain cells to use. God wants us to use our brain cells to think out problems.
Who gave you the ability to know to put the fire out?
God gave us our thought process to do actual thinking for ourselves.
So if God gave you the thought to do it, how do you create your own thoughts about anything?
God gave us, do you disagree with the fact that God gave us our free will to choose him or to choose Satan?
No, you don't have a free will.
You have a free will to choose God or Satan, correct?
No.
So we don't have to prove anything. We're basically, it's a done deal. We're accepted by God. We go to heaven. Everything's fine, right?
No, you're in hell. You could stay in hell if you want, or you can come out of hell.
God gave us.
Come out of hell.
God gave us.
Right. God gave you the ability to think about how to cook, what to eat, and everything.
Yeah.
So you don't create those thoughts.
Those thoughts are created. He gave us the ability to choose.
Right.
Just like he gave The ability to choose.
If he gave you the ability to think, why do you think you create those thoughts?
Because we're choosing. That is it. That is the definition of choosing, creating our own, or deciding with our own thoughts.
You're
That's
talking
it.
about two different things.
Welcome to the world of choosing. Huh? No, I'm not. I'm talking about the same thing.
What?
I'm talking about the same thing.
You agree with
given
me?
the
You
right
agree
to
with?
choose.
Hey, you agree with me that God gave you the ability to put the fire out, right?
He gave us the capability of our brain cells.
God gave
make
you
the choice
not
to
your
do
brain
that.
cell. No, it's not the brain cell. The brain cell that make the body
Right.
work. But are you agreeing with me
It
that
doesn't
God?
matter. What? You said brain cells don't make the body work.
I said the brain cell are there to make the
Whoa.
body work.
Yeah, exactly.
But you don't
and to
think
save
when
the
you.
body. Yeah.
But Ardene, give me a quick because of time. Are you agreeing with me
You
that
do
God?
have to time.
What?
Go on. I'm
You
listening.
agree with me that God gave you the ability to put the fire out, right?
He gave us the tools to do that.
And
If we
so
have
if
two
it's
arms
from
that
God, how do you create your own thoughts?
work, because we have a choice to sit there and watch a fire or to put it out. That's where the choice
You're not
is.
answering the question. You don't have a choice.
Yes, I did. Yes, we do. So I could sit there and watch because God gave me
You're
the
talking about,
ability
you're
to
jumping
do
across
it.
the room talking about you're slipping three different things in there.
Okay, tell me a
because
scenario.
you mentioned
analyze
free
it.
will.
Tell me a scenario.
Ardene, call
Tell me a scenario.
Ardene, I gotta run.
No,
Call
no,
me.
no, you don't. I'll wait. I'll wait until you're done.
Okay, hold on. Wait. I am totally out of time. I'll be back tomorrow if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Tomorrow is Open Line Friday. The Hate Report coming up now. Joel Friday after the Hate Report. And the American Anchor Baby after Joel Friday. Get on that straight in there. Or you just wait. Right there in that living room. I'm out of time. Well, I'm out of time. Forgive your mothers. Every human being, if you want to be free, you got to forgive your mother and your father. Do the silent prayer, rebuildingaman.com/prayer. Silent prayer. At D-Live, the treasure chest is open.
That's old.
What?
The treasure chest open and shut already.
Oh, I'm out of time. Thank you for your support, folks. Tell RD I'm gone. That show is all. Boy, what's his name, Derek?
Yeah.
RD can call him back. The show is over, Derek. What the? He black. Oh, to the rest of the caller, Fritz, Gabe, Joshua, Ray. I'm out of time. I'll be back tomorrow if the Lord is willing and the creek don't rise. Tell Ardene, call me back another time. The show is over. Bye, y'all. We have a counseling service, and I have to admit, thanks to God, it is the best counseling service on this side of heaven. I counsel with men and women, families, individuals around the world. Most people are unhappy, they're miserable, they have rough lives, they're depressed, suicidal, young and old, of all races. I understand, I know why, and I do understand it. Because exactly what's happening in me is happening with everybody outside of me, inside of them. And I've noticed that with those who really want to understand, they overcome it just like that. Out of one counseling session, If you need counseling, you can go to rebuildingtheman.com or call 800-411-2663. 800-411-BOND. Best counseling service on this side of heaven. So, here's what I recommend. I invite you to download my silent prayer.
I know some people have called in and they wonder if the silent prayer is working. And I just want to take a second and to tell them that it works. You just have to stick with it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I started doing before I even forgave my parents. And I was so depressed and suicidal at some times that I just would have to stop in the middle of my job or whatever I was doing and go into the silent prayer. And it really does help. Like, I don't have those anymore.
Amazing. You haven't seen anything yet. Doubt every thought. Bring every thought into captivity. Just let them all pass. Don't judge them. You haven't seen anything. It gets better and better and better and easier, easier, easier. So my gift to you, no charge, at rebuildingtheman.com/church.